There is the star point.
That's great.
It's a beautiful day out here, that's for sure.
Oh, we're losing your audio again, Jeri. You want to? So the reception is a little spotty down on the dock, but I think if we give her a moment, she'll step back in reception. So Jeri is, as you can see, down on our dock, which is one of our favorite places on campus, and our signature star point there as well, which is, for so many of us, kind of that hallmark of MDIBL campus. It means so much to us and really kind of pulls at those heartstrings for all of us. Jeri, we lost you there for a little bit, but it sounds like your audio is back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Excellent. I will try out for the next cellular telephone commercial. Oh, the beauty of no cell service in Maine. It's such a treat. Anyway, so I see Charles Nicholson. Is he, can you hear? We can't. There he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, here I am.
Oh, I may have lost Jeri again.
You can see this for yourself. Oh, I'm here.
You're in and out, Jeri. You might want to.
Okay.
I know Dr. Haller is also going to be down on Star Point and will be joining us in a few minutes. But Jeri was going to stop a few places around campus, show a few places that have been meaningful to all of us in the past and have helped us or really show our growth over the last 20 years. But we are such a small group, and so many of you know MDIBL so well. So if there are places on campus that you have been missing, or places from the past that you'd like to see what they look like now, let us know. And Jeri will, I'm sure, happily go to any of those spots to share them with us. So if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to unmute. We're a small group and just chime in. It's not a problem. Forgive us for any audio and visual issues. Jeri is out on her cell phone giving the kind of hands-on tour, and we'll be jumping kind of from one Wi-Fi network to another. So there might be a little bit of lag time. If you have any issues at all or any specific questions that you don't want to unmute, the chat option is also available here. Please feel free to use that as well. And do know that we are recording the video for this. If you're uncomfortable having your own video up on, which is at the top of the screen for this recording, feel free to turn off your video as well. So it looks like Jeri.
Emily.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes.
All right. Well, we had to do the cursory run by the kidney shed. What would a tour of MDIBL be without the kidney shed? And here's the Epstein lab. Looking pretty quiet this summer, as you can imagine. Due to COVID-19, we really don't have many visiting faculty. I think we have a couple with us, but none on the lower campus. So that's kind of a sad thing, but we look forward to having the sort of vibrancy back at MDIBL just as soon as we possibly can. Here's the Neil lab. Still looks pretty much the same. I'm gonna just
let's see, we lost her again for a moment. I think that she is headed over. Dr. Haller just stopped by. I'm up in the Myers Pavilion. If you haven't been back to campus in a while, it might not be as familiar to you, but it's a place where we hold our Chalk Talks on Wednesdays during the summer, which is a wonderful kind of reincarnation of our Monday morning seminars. And up here is Dr. Haller down with Dr. Silva.
Nope, Ian Drummond is here.
Oh, Ian Drummond is there. Aha.
Two scientists who are solving all the world's problems right here on Star Point. Can you imagine?
about this one of the few places on the planet where you actually can talk from.
There you go. Well, this is a beautiful spot where many of you may recall we had many Monday morning seminars out here with the sun and the speaker had to face the sun and squint at everybody, and everyone came down with a cup of coffee and maybe a donut or two and talk science.
For those of you who remember that, you see that the whiteboard, or for the old ones, the blackboard, is not there anymore, which tells you how badly we need support.
Look around, you can pretty much see that for yourself. Oh, is
Jerry,
it?
we can't hear Dr. Haller that well. Could you?
Which lab is he in? Okay. Okay. So
Let's see. I think her audio has gone out as she goes to the lab, but I think she
hasn't a whole lot, and there is Dr. Silva. How are you? Good, good. We have some alums of the lab on the line today, and just kind of taking a little quick tour around. It seems like it's pretty quiet in this neighborhood this summer.
This neighborhood is very quiet, yes, indeed. Yeah.
Well, we still got all of our stalwarts here, like you. That's wonderful. Do you remember Charles Nicholson? So he was here. Charles, I don't remember. What year were you here? It was in the 70s or 80s?
Sorry, it was in the early 80s. In the
Early 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I must have been,
83, I think.
Yeah.
so I must not have been here.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I started coming here in 1973.
1973. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
I won't tell you that I was only 4 years old then, Patricia, but that's okay. Just to make you feel good.
I'm not going to tell
we're
you.
all friends.
Okay, all right. You must have only been 12 when you came.
I'm still 39. I've been 39 for 7
Okay, yeah. It's a good number. It's a good number. That's great. So what are you working on? If you're
What am I working on?
Yeah.
It's I'm still working what I started working on here almost 50 years ago. I'm working on the transport of chloride. And what I'm doing, since we don't have ways of doing functional studies right now, we can't have fish, large fish. So I'm doing molecular biology of the system. And I'm identifying all the different steps that are necessary to carry on the transport. And it turns out that they are all there. And the question is to find out what the molecules look like. And that's what I'm doing right now.
Interesting. So did you have that technology available to you when you were here in 1973? Yeah. So that's really what's exciting about how science has changed, huh?
Yeah.
Neat.
Science can change. Well, we changed from being the on-hands physiologists handling the fish now to looking just only at tissues.
Yeah.
And
fascinating.
Finding out what the DNA and RNA composition of the basis composition of the RNA and DNA of these tissues are. And trying the most interesting thing about this thing is that they give us a map that we can actually follow back from fish like the sharks, which are the ones that I'm working with, that are 700 or 600 million years old.
Crazy.
All the way down to us. And it turns out that we have the same molecules that they do.
Amazing.
It's
So
very
exciting.
interesting.
Yeah.
So we can actually trace the phylogeny of the whole system.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you for sharing a little bit with us today. It's great
My
to see
pleasure.
you.
All the time.
Yeah, all right. Take care. Bye. Okay, Emily, I'm going to turn my camera off just for a minute so you don't have to watch this painful transition as I move up to the upper campus.
Sure. And actually, at that point, I'm going to turn the screen over to Pip, who's going to share a short video, just sharing some images some of our favorite images from MDIBL. So enjoy.
That's great, Pip. Thank you. So we're up here now in what we refer to as the courtyard, are kind of the hub between what some of you may recognize as the Smith Kingsley building, which is now largely our administration building. We do have some laboratory space on the second floor, which right now is housing a for-profit startup company. They're working on a medical device, which is pretty exciting, and are in phase 3 clinical trials for approval of that device. But this has really become kind of the central hub of our campus. This is the main drive as you walk down, so you really get a good sense of kind of where you are on the campus. And what you see here are our 2 primary research buildings. So this is the Morris building, which was constructed in 2008. It was the first really kind of cutting edge year-round research laboratory at the lab. We had the Marshall building in the 70s, which technically was winterized, but it was a little sparse. So the Morris building is really just a wonderful facility that has space for 4 full-time research groups. It has a big common space, which originally was designed as a library, but now is largely a museum, all of that, and just a wonderful opportunity, just a wonderful place for researchers to come together. And then here we've put on a wing. This is the Catherine W. Davis Center for Regenerative Medicine. This wing was added in 2012. And together there's about 25,000 square feet of research space in these 2 buildings. So all of our 10 full-time faculty and research groups are housed here, as well as our animal core and other resources, microscopy, all of those things are here. And okay, well, this is the Sayre Courtyard, and I know that Helen was such an important part of the research community here for many years, and so her family put this beautiful courtyard together in her memory. And it's just such a peaceful, quiet place to come and have a conversation, or just kind of, think about things, take a little break from the research. It's really been a wonderful, wonderful addition to the campus. And I know most of you have seen the inside of research laboratory buildings. You probably don't need to see anymore, but it's just to give you a quick glimpse at some of the changes that have happened on the campus over the last few years. So here, this is our newest building on campus. This is the Maine Center for Biomedical Innovation. So this was constructed in 2017. It's about 6,500 square feet, and it's primarily...
So I think she's going to walk in, and when she is closer to the building, she'll reconnect. But Jeri, we lost you just as you were talking about the building of MCBI, which I personally have a deep affection for because it is on the spot in the cottage where I was a student here in 1997. Where I worked with George Kidder and sat in a canoe actually most of the time, recording salinity levels down the street. So I tell you, I only fell out of the canoe once when a deer bounded close to the stream and I freaked out. So that is one of my defining MDIBL moments. But I was really pleased to come back as an employee and see CBI in place, and what an incredible facility it is. When I came here to interview for my job, there was a group of fourth graders from a local school who were in there learning to pipette. And I, as the mother of a just about 10-year-old, I was so excited to see that MDIBL is reaching such a diverse age group and getting the next generation of young scientists ready to be a part of the problem solvers in this world. So this building is just an incredible asset. And I think, Jeri, are you back on?
I am. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, loud.
Terrific. So we're here on the first floor of the Maine Center for Biomedical Innovation. And as you can see, it's set up as a research training laboratory. So previously, our training happened in the basement of the Morris building, but this actually doubles the capacity for our research training. And some of you may be familiar with this program that we refer to as the IMBRI program. It's the IDEA Network of Biomedical Research Excellence. And it was a program that really helped transform MDIBL from what was largely a seasonal summer research lab into a robust full-time research institution. And that grant partners us with 13 academic and research institutions throughout the state of Maine. And this is a federally funded program through NIH that helps states like Maine, rural states who are maybe get less than the national average of funding of federal research dollars to be more competitive on a national basis for research grants. But as you'll see, this particular lab can be divided in two, so we can have concurrent courses here, and we can have about 15 to 20 students in each course. And sometimes it's a lot of fun because, as Emily said, we might have fourth graders on one side just learning how to pipette, and on the other side we might have an entire group of aquatic veterinarians that are here training or talking about the latest health policies and health techniques for laboratory animals. So it often creates a fun dynamic between the two groups. So that's a lot of fun. And in reality, it really just provides such a wonderful teaching space. You can see we made some real modifications compared to a typical research laboratory. We tried to reduce any shelving in between the benches to facilitate communication so that students can see these big screens that we have, which those screens are attached to microscopes, so the teacher can demonstrate and the students can easily see whatever the instructor is seeing under the scope. And that makes for just a much easier environment for learning. And all of these laboratory benches are modular, so they can be moved around in different configurations. They're basically just tethered by, as you see there, the gas and the O2 that come into each lab bench. So anyway, just kind of a fun glimpse. And normally, we would show this to you and it would be jam-packed with students just doing a lot of great science and just really enjoying themselves, being super excited. I guess the best part of this building is actually, as in many spaces with an MDIBL, I don't know if you can see, but the view out the windows is pretty spectacular and sits right on the edge of Frenchman Bay. So I'm just gonna turn my camera off for a second while I transition upstairs.
So for the alumni on the call, if you guys have any questions or if you have anywhere that you would like to see, let me know and we can send Jeri over there. Anybody? Anything in particular? No. Oh, pop quiz, who knows what used to be where the Morris building is now? Anyone remember? Oh, Claudine knows. Claudine, go for it.
Okay, I wasn't ready. The bathrooms.
Yay! You are the winner. Yes. I love it. I was wondering if anybody was going to get that one.
So I'm back.
Seemingly outdoor bathrooms, weren't they? I believe so.
Yes. Yes.
So we're now on the second floor of the MCBI, the Maine Center for Biomedical Research, Maine Center for Biomedical Innovation. And this is kind of a nice lobby space where we exhibit a lot of artwork from various artists. We have artists in residence programs here. Our Art Meets Science program often this space is full of examples of how artists are helping us really just start a conversation about science. So it's been a wonderful outreach tool for us as we work to increase visibility and awareness of the lab's programs. This space, just like the research laboratory space downstairs, is designed to be a classroom space that can be divided in two. So we can have two entirely separate classrooms meetings here, but then also for ultimate flexibility can be configured as it is now as one large space. So we have a lot of our outreach programs here, our science cafes are here, our Taste for Science dinners are held in this space. It's just a wonderful addition to the campus and really allows for, really can accommodate any size group. I think we can get about 100 people seated for a dinner here. So it's a really great space. And I don't know if you can, lots of trees. These trees have grown up so quickly. I was going to try to show you a little bit of an aerial sense of the campus, but I can't really get a good shot, I guess. You can sort of get a sense of where we are. But the best part of this facility, of course, is, as the best part of everywhere on the campus, the spectacular views that it affords all of our students. So you can imagine, you know, coming here from New York City or the Midwest and be able to hang out here for a bit with your colleagues and maybe enjoy a cold glass of something and enjoy the spectacular view that we have here over Frenchman Bay. Beautiful day out here, very sunny, but gorgeous. You can just barely see the dock down through there. All right.
I think at this point, Jeri's going to pop up to another section of campus, and Pip was going to share a little bit of a slideshow of some of our favorite nostalgic images of campus and some people from the past, which I think you'll enjoy. I love it. And I think Jeri is back up in the head of campus. And Jeri, is your service back on?
Well, so here I am. I'm not sure if you can hear me. I certainly don't have
We can
great
hear
service.
you, yes.
Okay, excellent. So I'm here, I would say if you thought about the campus as you know it, I'm across from the co-op, sort of above where Berger Dorm used to be. And these are our two new dormitory buildings. Well, new, I say that now, they're 20 years old. But they each house 16 beds each, so about 32 beds. So, and really helped form a lab from that seasonal research place, because this allowed us to have students, courses, and conferences here year-round. So it was a major investment in the lab as we began to transition into a year-round institution. And although there's no net here, this of course is the location for some of the fiercest volleyball games you've ever seen. That was a big highlight for all of our students, is after a day in the lab and maybe a morning hike, they're here playing volleyball on this sand court, which needs a little sand at this point. But in any case, just to give you a sense of kind of some of the capacity that the lab now has, and they're beautiful dorms inside, and just really a great addition to the campus. So Emily, I'm going to sign off for just a second, see if I can find some service up near Dahlgren.
Sure. So if Jeri's headed up towards Dahlgren, she's also passing the co-op, which has been an integral part of, I think, every MDIBL alum's experience. And it's wonderful to walk into it today and still get that real sense of communal coming together for meals, and that sense of collaboration and casual interaction between scientists and students that is just such a defining part of the MDIBL student experience. And I say that as today was the student symposium, which happened virtually. And it was amazing to come online and see these students give their presentations, put their posters up, give 3 minutes to talk about it. And there are over 70 people on that call. You know, mentors and scientists and students asking great questions. The students gave wonderful answers, even on the spot on Zoom, and came together in a wonderful exchange of ideas that was great to see even after a remote experience this summer. So we're really pleased to see our education program thriving in the midst of a pandemic. It is heartening for us all. So Jeri is also headed up past Bowen Hall, which you may remember is the large yellow building close to the main road. Built in the early 1800s, it served as a cafeteria or dining hall. It's an office building and a conference center. It is also kind of the opening building as you come onto campus, and one that we are working hard to ensure is restored in the next couple of years. It's an important part of our campus, and we hope to see it return to that cornerstone with housing our education and other programs, that public-facing building for us. So Jeri's back online. Where are you, Jeri? Without audio, unfortunately. I think she's up by Dahlgren. Hello.
Oh, no, not that side. There we go. So I'm here by Dahlgren Hall. Some of you may remember the Eden cottages, 2 small cottages that are here on campus, which we typically use for faculty housing now with our courses and conferences, sometimes for postdocs or graduate students that are with us throughout the year. But I don't know if you can see, this is Dahlgren, the old schoolhouse, which, let's see if I can get this. And then attached to that, in 1998, when the laboratory celebrated its centennial, we put on a 152-seat auditorium called Marin Auditorium, named for Tom Marin. And it has just been a fantastic resource for the lab. It really was the primary space for our courses and conferences, for a lot of the kind of classroom space that we needed when we were doing these courses before we built MCBI. And today serves as a wonderful gathering space for our annual meeting and for other public events. We have a lot of large public seminars and concerts and all kinds of things that happen in this space. So again, just a nice facet of the MDIBL community, you know, a place where a gathering spot for the community. So I guess that's just about it. I'll just quickly run out to the road and kind of give you a view from there, and then I think we'll probably wrap it up.
All right, well then I'll give you another pop quiz one, a tough one. This came from Jeri, so blame her. Who is the best whistler who's ever been at MDIBL? So this is for the old time. Oh, Claudine, you know it again. You're good. What is it?
Someone else should have a chance first.
No, clearly you've got the institutional.
I remember
I
hearing, I would be upstairs working in the office upstairs where you work, and would hear this whistling coming down the path. And it was the most beautiful whistling I've ever heard in my life. Dr. Franklin Epstein.
Absolutely.
Walk
You are the
around
big
everywhere
winner.
Whistling. Just beautiful tone. It just
Yes.
amazing.
He could, yes, he's amazing, amazing. I cannot get a note out, but he could do a concerto. So pretty awesome. Claudine, you win the prize for today. I am very impressed. Let's see. I wanted to also make sure, I know that Jeri is, I'm hoping going to get back into service soon, but we will be sending out a survey tomorrow to get people's feedback about homecoming and how we can better engage with our alumni. We have a new web page on our website. It's mdibl.org/get-involved, where we're asking people to submit their stories. We love to get the old photos of people's experience here. We love to hear what they remember, what MDIBL has meant to them, both at that time and in the years after. We would love if you are stayed in the fields of science, if you would come back and participate in a course or conference. Would you serve as a mentor for some of our younger students? Would you help people who are applying to medical school talk about what that's like and how you could help them succeed in that next step in their career? Any way, any bit of your time and talent you are willing to give, we would love to work with you on that. We really appreciate you guys joining us. If you missed any of our earlier programming from this week, it's all being recorded and will be distributed. We had an amazing talk by an alum, Allison Fundus, on Wednesday evening, which I really highly recommend if you weren't able to join us to check out the recording of that. And also a fantastic alumni roundtable yesterday with a number of mentors and former students sharing what their experience meant to them, and also talking about a few favorite memories. It's scientists in short pants will stay with me for quite some time as an image from Dr. Dawson. So we really appreciate hearing those stories. So keep them coming if you can. Finally, we'd really appreciate if you might help us as a sounding board. We are really looking to build good relationships with our alumni. We value our alumni. We want to make sure that we are communicating with you in the best way possible, in the forms that work with you, and on a timetable that works with you. We hope that you're receiving our e-news and our Breaking Through magazine. We would love if you have feedback on that, about how we're doing and in what way we're communicating with you. So please feel free to reach out to us. We will be sending out some follow-up emails in the next day or two, but we would really appreciate hearing what you think and how you felt. We really look forward to next year, hopefully having a homecoming that involves some in-person events. So if you have some ideas about what that might look like, please let us know as well. We appreciate it. And I think Jeri might be back online. Let's see.
That was a little bit of a failed experiment. Sorry about that.
Not a problem. Welcome back.
So sorry, everyone. So much for, good cell service and cell coverage on campus. But I hope you were able to get a little bit of a glimpse of some of the changes that have happened at campus since you were all here last.
We appreciate it, Jeri. Thank you for being our legs and eyes around campus. It was great to be down on the dock with you, and to also what a treat to see Dr. Silva in the lab. What a treat. So Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it. We'll be on for a few minutes if you have any other questions you wanted to ask, and we really appreciate you being here with us today. Thank you.